Hello and welcome to my video. Today we will go through the mind map for the Global Economy and International Business course from IPMI International Business School's Executive MBA Program. This program was facilitated by Prof. Sembel and Ibu Yulita Susanti PhD, who are experts in this field for more than decades. They already share their knowledge, experiences, and their thought related to these topics. And what have they done to help us understand the topic easier? In the video, we'll provide a mind map that covers the course essential subject, including introduction to global economy, international finance, international issue in global finance, global trade, international business, international strategy, and international business functions. In this course, the facilitator emphasizes in active learning methods, which are a effective approach to learning that involves students actively engaging with the course material rather than passively receiving information. Well, let's start with the introduction to global economy. This refers to the global interconnectivity of economies, where business and individuals may purchase and sell products and services across borders. Started with the history of the international economy, which part of them are industrial revolutions, which has changed the history of economy. The first industrial revolution began in the late 18th century in Britain, when new industrial processes were adopted, resulting in a rise in production and trade. In the late 19th century, the second industrial revolution began, ushering in mass production, assembly lines, and the use of the electricity. With the arrival of the electronics and computer in 1960s, the third industrial revolution began, leading to automation and the establishment of the internet. With the integration of the cyber-physical system and the Internet of Things, IoT, the fourth industrial revolution is taking place right now. So, the next is about the new economic three pillars, which are innovations, globalizations, and sustainability. Globalizations connects organizations and individuals across boundaries, while innovations fosters growth by producing new products and services. Sustainability guarantees that economic growth occurs while the environment is protected. The emergence of these new technologies such as artificial intelligence, blockchains, biotechnology exemplifies innovations. The globalization can be seen in the emergence of multinational corporations and the expansion of the worldwide trade. The transition to renewable energy sources and the implementation of the sustainable corporate practices are examples of sustainability. Natural disaster, political unrest, economic recession, the creation of new technology are all causes of disruption and crisis in the global economy. The internet and laser industries have been major disruptors too in the recent years. While the case.com crash of 2000 was financial disturbance caused by the failure of internet-based business, these companies' overvaluation created a bubble that later burst, resulting in severe job losses and bankruptcies. And in 2015, Russia-Ukraine war impacted the global economy by affecting international trade and energy supplies. The West sanction against Russia had an impact on the global oil prices and trade flows. And in the last chapter, we learned about the macroeconomic situation in Indonesia. With a GDP of 1.12 trillion in 2020, Indonesia is one of the fastest growing economies in Southeast Asia. Its GDP growth rate was about 4.3%, and it is predicted to rise after the post-pandemic recovery. However, Indonesia still faces challenges in infrastructure and innovation, with only 5.5% of its GDP spent on infrastructure. Okay, the next we'll learn about the international finance, which deals with the financial transactions between countries. It's vital to the global economy. We'll talk about various aspects of international finance, such as the tasks involved, the worldwide monetary and financial environment, the global crisis, and the case studies. choosing a capital structure, raising funds for the firm, managing working capital and cash flow, conducting capital budgeting, managing currency risk, and foreign taxation or international taxation are all part of the international financial management. To achieve optimum profitability, it is critical to select the best capital structure for the organization, whether through stock or the debt financing. And the international monetary and financial environment relates to the currency exchange rates in international trade, how exchange rates are decided, the monetary and financial system, and the important players involved. Exchange rates are important in international finance because they determine the value of various currency. Central banks, international organizations, and financial institutions are among the important players in the monetary and financial system. Well, we also learn about the international issue in this global finance, which are important aspects of the course, covering the challenge and complexities of the international finance, including foreign exchange risk, country risk, and the political risk. And one of the hard issue that we learn is about the subprime markets 2008 and the Silicon Valley Bank bankruptcy. So the 2008 subprime mortgage crisis was one of the most serious worldwide crises in the modern history. The collapse of the U.S. housing market and the drop in the mortgage-backed securities were to blame. The worldwide economy was severely impacted by the crisis, which resulted in bomb collapses, unemployment, and a severe economic downturn. Another case in point is the bankruptcy of Silicon Valley Bank as a result of high-risk loan and investment in startups. One of the reasons of the bank's demise was its failure to manage risk. Okay, the next chapter is about the global trade. Global trade is critical to the global economy, with countries trading products and services to boost economic growth. In this video, we will discuss tariff quota, consumers and producers surplus, resources allocation and income distribution effect, tariff and the large country case, nominal and effective rates of protection, and other form of protections, and the intellectual property study. Well, tariff and quota are two popular trade measures that countries adopt to shield native sectors from outside competitions. Tariffs are levied on imported commodities, whereas quota limits the amount of items that can be imported. Imported become less appealing to the customer as a result of these policies. Tariffs and quota affect both consumers and producers' surplus. The gap between the amount of a customer is willing to pay and the actual price paid for a product is known as a consumer surplus, whereas producer surplus is the difference between the market price and the cost production. Tariff and quota lower consumer surplus when import prices rise. However, they enhance producer surplus for domestic firms. Tariff and quota have an impact on both resource allocation and income distribution. When domestic production increases as a result of tariff and quotas, causing resources to be allocated to domestic manufacturing, which may be less efficient. Furthermore, income distribution may be impacted when tariff and quota help domestic manufacturers while harming international producers. Okay, nominal rates refer to the percentage increase in domestic prices caused by tariffs, whereas effective rates refer to the percentage increase in profit caused by a tariff. Effective protection rate are more important since they account for the increase in profit caused by tariff. Another form of the protection a country uses is usually utilize additional form to defend their native business, such as subsidized, voluntary export limitation, and trade obstacle. The next is about international business. International business is another important aspect of the course, which covers the management of international business operations. These include issues such as cross-cultural communication, and trade strategy and market selection. International business presents several opportunities for investment and financing. Companies can expand their operation globally by investing in foreign countries, acquiring foreign firms, and seeking financial financing from international financial institutions. International investment and financing provide the opportunity to companies to access new markets, reduce production costs, and enhance their competitive advantage. Four levels of international activities are domestic, international, multinational, and global. International business activities can be categorized for those levels. Domestic companies operate solely in their home country, whereas international companies have operation in multiple countries. Multinational companies have a centralized management structure but have operation in several countries. Global companies, on the other hand, have a decentralized structure and operate in several countries with a high level of integration. Well, the globalization, the process, the market, and the product, and the forces of driving globalization will be discussed later. And globalization refers to the integration of economic, social, cultural aspects of countries around the world. It can be viewed in the term of process, market, and production globalization. And the next is about the dimensions and the flow of international business. International business have several dimensions, including trade, investment, and finance. Flow of international business can be classified into two categories, inward and outward. Inward flows refer to foreign investment, imports, borrowing from foreign sources, while outward flows include foreign investment, export, and lending to the foreign entities. Cultural environment in international business plays a cultural role that impacts communication, negotiation, and business practices. Understanding essential elements of culture, such as language, value, beliefs, customs, tradition, is critical to success in international business. Key concepts such as ethnocentrism, cultural relativism, cultural intelligence help business navigate cultural differences. Social cultures such as family, religion, education, politics also shape cultural norms and practices. Barriers to effective communication of international business include language, nonverbal communication, and cultural difference. And the last thing in this chapter is risk in international business. There are cross-cultural, country, commercial, and the currency. Cross-cultural risks refer to the potential for misunderstanding and miscommunication due to cultural differences. Country risks include political and economic risks associated with doing business in the foreign country. Commercial risks involve the possibility of business partner failing to home contractual obligation. And the last is currency risks, refer to the possibility of losses due to change in exchange rates. Well, the next chapter is about international strategy, as this is an important aspect of the course covering a company's plan for conducting business in the global marketplace. This includes choosing which country to do business and deciding how to enter those markets and adapting products and services to meet local needs. Let's start by discussing the three strategies of international strategy. The first is efficiency, the ability to produce goods or services at a lower cost than the competitors. The second is flexibility, the ability to respond quickly to change in the business environment. And the last is learning, the ability to create and transfer knowledge across the organization. To become a successful global firm, it's essential to have a clear international strategy. This includes well-designed organizational structure, efficient organization process, supportive organizational culture, and visionary leadership. The Integration Responsiveness Framework is a useful tool for developing international strategy. This framework proposes 4 strategies that can emerge from balancing 2 pressures: the need to integrate global operation and the need to be responsive to the local market condition. The 4 strategies are home replication, multi-domestics, a global, and the transnational. The last is about foreign market strategy. There are several options available, including exporting, licensing, franchising, joint venture, acquisitions, and green investment. The choice of the entry strategy depends on the factors such as the firm's resources and capability, the target market characteristic, and the degree of the control desired. In conclusion, international strategy is a crucial aspect of doing business globally. The three strategic objectives are essential for successful global firms. The integration responsiveness framework provides for strategies that can help balance the need for the global integration and the local responsiveness. Finally, there are several firm market entry strategies available, each with its advantages and disadvantages. Finally, the last chapter of the course is about international business function, a crucial aspect of conducting business in the global market. It encompasses a range of activities from marketing, pricing, distribution, and human resources. International marketing is the process of identifying and meeting the needs of consumers in different countries. It involves market segmentation, global market segment, branding, international advertising. A successful international marketing strategy requires an understanding of the cultural, economic, legal differences in different countries. Market segmentation is one of the primary aspects of the international marketing. It involves dividing the market into smaller groups based on similar needs, preferences, and behavior. Global market segmentation focuses on the similarities between countries and regions, while local market segmentation emphasizes the difference between countries. The next is about branding. Branding is another critical aspect. There are three types of branding: a global, international, and the local branding. Global branding focuses on creating a uniform brand image worldwide, while international branding adapts the brand to local cultures and languages. And the local branding involves creating new brand images for each country or region. International advertising is also essential for companies engaged in international business. Advertisements need to be adapted to local cultures and languages while maintaining a consistent message across all regions. When it comes to international business, companies must decide whether to standardize their product or adapt it to meet local needs. This is known as the trade-off strategy. It involves balancing the benefits and the standardizations against the cost of adaptations. Standardizations involve maintaining the same product across all regions, while product adaptations involve modifying the product to meet local preferences and needs. In the pricing, the process of setting price product or services sold in different countries. Factors that affect international pricing including tax, tariffs, transportation costs, and the exchange rates. There are three pricing strategies: standardization, market-based, and the cost-based pricing. To conduct international price escalations, companies must consider their marketing strategy and the product positioning. We should remember that there are gray marketing that involve in the sale of product through unauthorized channels, which can also affect international pricing. In the distribution, the international activity involves getting product and services to customers in different countries. It can include selecting distribution channels, managing logistics, navigating trade barriers. Companies must consider cultural, legal, logistical differences in different countries when designing their international distribution strategy. There are several distribution strategies, including direct sales, agent, distributor sales, and joint ventures. That's some of them. And the last function is human resources, involve managing employees in different countries, include staffing policy, preparation training, performance appraisal, labor relation, and diversity management in international staff. Successful international human resource management requires an understanding of cultural differences, labor laws, best practices in different countries. The strategic role of human resources in international business is to manage the workforce in different regions. International staffing policy involves choosing between host, parent, and the third country nationals to fill different positions. preparing training international staff is essential to ensure they understand local cultures, language, and work practices. Performance appraisal is necessary to evaluate staff performance and identify area of improvement. And the relation to international labor involves dealing with the local labor law, unions, and the employment practices. Diversity in the international workforce involves managing cultural and linguistic difference to create an inclusive work environment. By understanding all those key topics, business can successfully navigate the challenges and opportunities of the global marketplace. Okay, that are all what we have been learning in this course. I hope you can enjoy the video. Thank you.